First story is titled, Update. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to hide that my moms are gay to my girlfriend's parents? Original story. I'm 17 and started going out with my girlfriend 7 months ago. We were already chatting before school went online, and I asked her out after. So her parents want to meet mine when it's safe to do that and have dinner at their house. I'm cool with that, and my moms are too. But girlfriend told me that her parents don't know I have 2 moms, and she don't want them to. Not because they're raging homophobes, but they don't like that. She just says it will make them feel weird and uncomfortable and ask if only one of my moms could go. I don't know, I just don't see why I gotta lie. If we stay together, obviously they will find out, and also that would be mean to ask my moms if one of them not go. I've never been embarrassed about it or weird, so don't see why it even matters. My girlfriend has been pissed at me ever since, and she just tells me to do it so it's not uncomfortable for her parents. Even my friends are saying it's not a big deal, and it's not like I'll get grounded for asking my moms to do this. I'm caught in the middle here because I don't want to lie about my moms nor exclude one of them, but everyone is acting like I'm being the a-hole for not doing this thing. Now for the top advice before reading the update. Not the a-hole, and I think you should consider whether this girl really values you if she wants you to hide your family. She's concerned about how her parents would feel, but she doesn't seem to mind hurting yours. Your parents may not ground you for asking, but they are likely to be hurt. It doesn't sound like that's something you want. The fact that his friends told him to just go along with it because it's not like he'll get grounded made me furious. I know they're just teenagers, but even at that age, you should know that the reason you don't do something hurtful isn't because you'll get grounded. It's because someone will get hurt. What a bunch of self-absorbed a-holes. Not the a-hole. Your girlfriend seems to have an issue with your moms. What if you two have kids and one of them is queer? Would you need to hide that from her parents too? This is your family, and if she and her family can't accept that, then she's not the one for you. Not the a-hole. My mom is gay, and the second my partner asked if one of my moms could attend a dinner, that would have been the end of the relationship. That's never, ever going to be okay with me. She has shown you where she stands on this. And you can talk to her, but honestly, it is unlikely to change in my experience. Not the a-hole. The embarrassment your girlfriend is fearing now will be 1000% more when they find out you lied about it. From her parents' side, you lied about something major and aren't now trustworthy. From your parents' side, annoyance to the girlfriend about her wanting you to lie. From her parents, anger that your girlfriend pulled this crap. From your parents, sadness because you went along with it. They'll be asking if you were ashamed of them. That's a whole bunch of crazy that can be avoided. And now for the update. So, we broke up. Yesterday, since it had already been days of us not talking. I listened to your comments and decided to ask how would she feel if I told her only one of her parents could go cause my moms are uncomfortable around heterosexual couples. She basically laughed and said it's not the same thing because that's a normal couple. That kinda got me, and I asked what's not normal about my moms. I think that's when she saw she messed up with what she said. She said she didn't mean it like that, and just knows it would be awkward and weird because her parents don't like that. Then I asked her if she would feel like that too, and she didn't say anything. We talked for a while, and she still wasn't getting how this would hurt my moms asking them to hide who they are. Then it got to where she admitted it would also be embarrassing for her parents to know I have 2 moms. And yeah, I wasn't gonna take that and told her we're done. Not gonna be with someone who's embarrassed about my moms or doesn't want others to know. That was it. My friends haven't said anything to me yet, but I think I'm just gonna block them out because I don't want to deal with their crap right now. I know I said in my comments I was thinking about asking my moms for advice, but since we're broken up, I'm not gonna tell them why. I only told my moms it wasn't working out with her, so we're done. They don't need to know why because I don't want them to feel it's their fault. They really liked my girlfriend. This would hurt their feelings knowing she was feeling that way. It's not their first breakup, but it still really sucks, and I'm feeling sad. It is what it is, though. Thanks for everyone's help and for telling me your own experiences. Stands and claps. As a parent, if my kid came to me and told me this, I would first feel hurt. But I'd quickly get over that and feel so damn proud that my kid stood up for himself, his beliefs, and his parents. So just know this Reddit mom is very proud of you. I don't want them to feel it's their fault. I don't think you need to worry about that. And yeah, they probably would be disappointed in her, although I suspect they'll be more inclined to blame the sources she picked up that attitude from. But it might save you from well-meaning attempts on their part to try and fix things. Your call, though. I think they'd be very proud of the way you've handled this if they knew the full story, and I'm sure there are better relationships ahead of you. One of my moms has a habit of still feeling bad over this kind of stuff. Like once in middle school. Some kids did say stuff to me, and she stopped going to my school events for a while so other kids wouldn't make fun of me. We had to convince her to go because I wanted her there. I just don't want them to feel bad. I think it's really great that you're shielding your moms from feeling guilty about the relationship ending. However, once you are in a better place and have gotten over the relationship, and maybe after getting into a different, happy relationship, I think it would be good to tell your moms about this, if it does come up. It's always nice to hear that someone you care about stood up for you. I gotta say, you handled this with a lot of maturity, especially for someone who's only 17. Now for the next story. Am I the a-hole for leaving in an Uber after what my husband did at a restaurant? Me, 31 female, and my husband, 35 male, have been married for 14 months. He's a middle school teacher and very close to his family. Loves to help out but can be firm at times. He adores his 1.2-year-old niece, his sister's baby. He always babysits whenever he's got nothing to do, and I help with whatever I can. We haven't gotten out for a nice dinner in a while, so I asked if we could go out to a new restaurant and try their food and have a good time together. He agreed. I immediately made reservations and took care of everything. Since I couldn't take the day off, I left work early and went to meet him there at the restaurant. I walked in and saw my husband sitting, and his knees in a car seat by the table. I asked, and he said his sister had work and wanted him to watch his knees. His family were out of town, so there was no one else beside him. I noticed the restaurant staff were giving us looks, since it's not a child-friendly restaurant, and I was worried the baby would cry or something. She was asleep then. We ordered our meals while he was calming his knees down because she was crying out loud. He kept asking the waitress about stuff they don't have for his knees. I couldn't take the looks from people unable to enjoy their meals because of the noise husband's knees was making. Especially when he started singing "You're Welcome" from a Moana movie while swinging her. I got up to the restroom. A few minutes later, I heard him arguing loudly. I went to see that he was actually trying to change his niece's diaper on the table. The waitress was arguing with him. I was in shock. The manager came after my husband said it'd take a minute to get it done. The manager spoke to me and asked me to leave eventually. I was livid. We left and I blew up outside. I asked my husband why the table, while people were eating, that he could have told me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have picked a restaurant that doesn't allow infants. That he embarrassed me, ruined dinner, and got us kicked out. He started arguing with me like I was one of his students after I refused to get in the car, giving me 0/10 for my reaction and claiming I picked a bad restaurant. He said that he was helping his sister and I needed to understand that. After the argument, I took an Uber and went home. He went to his sister's place and called saying I shouldn't have left like that. It'd make him feel guilty for wanting to help. But I didn't respond. Edit. I just want to say that my husband is the one who insists on taking his knees. He doesn't consider this babysitting. He just loves to be with her and take care of her. He said he wants us to adopt since it's our only way of having children. Medical reasons. He absolutely adores kids, so I understand his bond with his niece. But the restaurant incident was blamed on me. He thinks my reaction was over the top, and honestly, I have no idea why he thinks people should mind their own business when he's behaving like that in a public place. Now for the top comments. Not an a-hole. Who the hell changes a baby at the table and not at the restroom when they're in public? Why does he act like his niece is his kid and bring her everywhere? Especially when it's clear you're trying to have some time with just you and your husband. He absolutely embarrassed the hell out of you. And furthermore, tried to make you feel guilty for picking a nice restaurant when you were under the reasonable assumption you could have a nice dinner. You need to have some serious talks with your husband and your sister-in-law regarding boundaries and childcare because this is 100% not okay. Edit. I'm aware that many men's restrooms still don't possess changing tables. However, you can either take the baby to the car or change them on the floor of the restroom as other users have suggested, or use the family restroom if one is available. There's zero excuse for changing the baby on the table of the restaurant and introducing a biohazard where everyone else is eating. You'd be surprised. I saw somebody actually do it at a dining table at a county fair. The owner of the place saw them through the mirrors he had wisely set up and came out screaming, justifiably, and they actually argued with him. And the restrooms of both genders had changing tables. Holy crap! That's disgusting. They argued with the owner? That's even worse. Like, go to the bathroom with the kid. Nobody wants to deal with the stank while they're eating. Not at A-Hall. He should have told you so you could have gone somewhere else to eat. Also, changing diapers in the middle of a restaurant is absolutely not acceptable. First of all, I'm sorry for the late response. Yes, exactly. That's what bothered me. He could have simply let me know. I did not expect this from him, and it's the first time I see him do it. I told him about how others felt while they were eating, and he says he doesn't care and that they should just mind their own business. But this is a public place. He claims that I'm against the idea of him spending time with his niece, but that is not true. He was actually trying to change his niece's diaper on the table. Not A-Hall. This is gross. Your husband should have given you the heads up so you could book a different restaurant or even decline the sister's request because it was your date night. Thank you for being the only self-aware adult at the table. Some places are just not suitable for young children. Now for the last story. Am I the A-Hall for telling my boyfriend he stinks? So, me, 22 female, and my boyfriend, 23 male. He has the tendency that when he wears his clothes for 2 to 3 days, he'll put the clothes back in the wardrobe even though they smell bad. His excuse is that he can't tell that they smell, so he doesn't know. So I usually sort out his clothes. It got to a point where they smell so bad, the smell catches onto other clothes and I have to laundry too often. I tried to tell him that even if you can't tell, it's common sense to put your clothes in the wash after a day or two. At the beginning, I told him nicely with him sulking and getting upset and saying, "Okay babe, I'll do it," meaning he'll never do it. I know him, and it's been going on for years at this point. Somehow, this turned into an argument, and apparently I don't know how to tell things nicely. Even though if I say it nicely, it's not good enough. If I kinda try to make a joke of it, he doesn't get it. But when I'm firm, I'm too cruel for him. So I gave him an example. If I am to wear the same clothes over and over again, the clothes will start smelling, and hence I will stink because of it. I told him the exact thing. You stink because of his clothes. He burst out into tears, saying, "You don't know how much that impacts me," and just left the house to take the dog out. I'm actually dumbfounded right now. I'm just sitting on the sofa, and I don't know if I should cry or laugh. I have tried every approach I can think of over the years. He always says, "Yeah, okay," but then the cycle repeats. I told him I'm not his mother, and I shouldn't teach him this kind of things. And even a young kid would know when the clothes smell. So, am I the A-Hall for telling my boyfriend he stinks? Not the A-Hall. He's a grown man who should know what basic hygiene is. You've approached it multiple times, and obviously you're at your wit's end. It sounds like he might be being a little bit manipulative by saying, "You don't know how much that impacts me," because it's not as though he is making active changes to his hygiene to begin with. You're just calling him out. You telling him that he stinks after multiple instances of having the same conversation can't be of news to him. I think it's more than a little manipulative. OP should know this say it nicely, ignore nicely said thing, say it firmly, gets called out for being too mean thing. Happens to women a lot. It's meant to shut you up entirely and it's a game you can't win. This is a problem. Also, you're doing his laundry? Maybe stop that. Not A-Hall, and frankly, I think this is a deal breaker. A mature human being needs to know when to wash their clothes, and needs to take responsibility for that. What else is he expecting you to do for him? Not A-Hall. If your boyfriend is an adult, he needs to learn basic hygiene. Does he shower often and wear deodorant? I just can't wrap my head around getting clean in the shower and throwing back on dirty clothes. I'm currently working on teaching this lesson to 2 people I live with. I tell them they stink. They shower, then throw on the same hoodie they've worn for days. I threaten to put them and a hoodie outside. Then they launder the hoodie. The difference is they are my kids in their teens. Not A-Hall. As for you don't know how much that impacts me, I'd be tempted to tell him that the answer is obviously not enough, since it never changes.